My dear friends, I am very much interested in the literature of Swami Vivekananda, and I have been addressing youngsters in Tamil Nadu, most of the institutions, on personality development. Personality development programs are available in a very ordinary way everywhere. But I just wanted to introduce the teachings of Swami Vivekananda, personality development through the eyes of Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda is very much relevant to the modern youth, to everyone. That is the reason why our government has declared the birthday, January 12th, of Swami Vivekananda as National Youth Day. Thank God, no politics interfered the government. And unanimously they decided to have Swami Vivekananda's birthday as the National Youth Day, because here nobody can be a better or the best role model for the youth than Swami Vivekananda. And this Prashanti Kudiram is totally pervaded, I believe, very sincerely, with the spirit of Swami Vivekananda. The spirit of Swami Vivekananda is pervading the whole of this campus. Every moment, in every step I take, put here, I am able to feel it in my nerve, in my blood, in my breath. So we are all lucky people here to be the inmates here. There are students who have come to learn yoga. There are people who have come here with the fond hope of curing themselves here as inmates. And there are many elders who have decided to spend the rest of their life here. And I am very happy about it. Swami Vivekananda stayed in the Western countries for a few years on 2 occasions. In 1893, May 31st is a very, very important day, because on that day he left the shores of Mumbai to take part in the Chicago Parliament of Religions. He stayed there for 3.5 years. And in 1897, January 15th, he returned. And when he returned, so many thoughts were there in the mind of Swami Vivekananda. He was returning with rich experience in the Western countries. He was able to feel in his pulse the materialistic life, the very comfortable modern way of life in the West. And all the time Swamiji was thinking about the poorest of the poor in India. I can ascertain, I can affirm that no personality in India than Swami Vivekananda, nobody has expressed the empathy or the sympathy for the poor people. That was the attachment Swamiji had for the children of this Bharat Mata. When he was in Chennai, while he was taking a stroll morning walk in the Marina Beach, Swamiji happened to see the poor children of the fishermen. That evening, Swamiji was invited to address the students, the youngsters of Chennai, college students, Christian College, Loyola College, Presidency College students, they had a students' union, and in that union, Swamiji was invited to address the youth of Chennai those days. That morning, Swamiji was taking a morning walk, a stroll in the Marina Beach. Swamiji happened to see the poor children of the fishermen folk. And when he saw them, all the torn clothing, they were in rags. And there was no oil in their head. And their stomach was empty for want of food. Suffering, poverty was writ large on the faces of these poor people. And that evening it was a stark, sharp contrast. The rich students of Chennai assembled there. There, Swamiji poured out. In a torrential pour out it was on the poverty of India, on the poor people of our country. He said a few sentences which I believe even the so-called communist people, the so-called people who say that we have got a lot of interest in the ordinary poor people have not expressed. That evening, when he addressed the youngsters of Chennai, he used these words. After hearing the lectures of Swami Vivekananda, many turned out to be his followers, disciples. Swamiji said, "Feel, my children, feel." He was addressing the students, and they were all coming in full suit. And some of them were even making fun of Swami Vivekananda, who was in a very ordinary saffron robe. Because those days in 1890s, it was the fashion of the youngsters to aid Westerners to discard our traditional dhotis and shirts to wear full suit and so on. And they had only Western ideas, materialistic ideas. To them, Swamiji said, "Feel, my children, feel." Here, by the word feel, he says, have sympathy, have empathy for the poorest of the poor of our nation. Feel, my children, feel. Shower sympathy, shower empathy on the poor people of our nation. Feel, my children, feel. To whom? Feel for the poor, for the poorest of the poor. Feel for the ignorant. There was no education. There was no literacy. All were not going to schools those days. Feel, my children, feel for the poor. Feel for the ignorant people. Feel for the ignorant. And feel for the downtrodden fishermen, ordinary people. People who are the so-called upper caste people are just suppressing those people. Three categories Swami Vivekananda gives here. Feel, my children, feel. Feel for the poor. Feel for the ignorant. And feel for the downtrodden. Swami Vivekananda does not stop there. To what extent one must feel, one must sympathize with the poor people. Feel till your heart breaks. Till you feel at the bottom of your heart. And you must feel it to what extent? Till your heart breaks. Swamiji is known for his beautiful definitions and extreme views. Very, very extreme views. Till your heart breaks. Till your head reels. Your head should be just going this way and that way like a whirlwind out of sympathy for the poor people. Till you think you go mad. Till you become mad. Prophetic were the words of Swami Vivekananda. After hearing these sentences of Swami Vivekananda, they understood what for Swamiji was a wandering monk, what for he went to the West, and what is the philosophy of Swamiji. Feel, my children, feel for the poor, feel for the ignorant, feel for the downtrodden, till your heart breaks, till your head reels, till you think you go mad. I sincerely feel that nobody, either in the West or here in the East, anybody who would declare that I have got a lot of sympathy for the poor, has expressed the feelings in such a beautiful way, even Karl Marx I can challenge. And that is the downpour of Swami Vivekananda. People like Swami Vivekananda were not born to whisper, to murmur. They were born only to proclaim. They will promulgate, they will announce, they will go to the top of the mountain and in thundering voice, they will speak out loudly so that their words are articulated in a beautiful way and their words fall in the ears of everyone. He was not born to whisper, to murmur, to speak in a low tone. Swami Vivekananda was born to proclaim. Probably Guru Maharaj whispered in his ears. Probably Guru Maharaj Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, after living Vedanta in his life, practical life, after his rich experience in his highest yoga stage, in his communion with God, what experience Guru Maharaj had, felt, he just gave everything to Swami Vivekananda. And he told him, young man, you are the right medium for me. You are the right person for me to go and to promulgate this vital message to the humanity. Not only to Indians. Swamiji says, I don't think that I belong to only India. I belong to humanity. And when I used to address youngsters, boys and girls in the colleges, I used to request them, be a master in English. Try to learn English. Because Swami Vivekananda was able to spread the beautiful, vital, important messages of Guru Maharaj Ramakrishna Paramahamsa because of his English only. September 11th, 1893, in Chicago, he was able to mesmerize people. He was able to convey this because of English. Remember, when he was a wandering monk in India, or when he was a monk in the Western countries, going from place to place, when the people introduced him to others, to the crowd, they said, here is an English-speaking Bengali sannyasi from India. The first adjective they used was English-speaking. So my young people, you must learn English and you must read the literature of Swami Vivekananda. If you want to improve your English communication skill, which is the need of the day, you should read the writings of Swami Vivekananda every day. How beautifully he introduced himself in Chicago. Excellently. People say when you go for an interview, they always ask a stupid question in the beginning. Introduce yourself. Sir, I have given the application form, and in the application form I have written my name, my father's name, nationality, sex, my address, my mobile number, my educational qualification, the year in which I passed, and where I did my BA, MA, everything I have mentioned, but still you want me to introduce myself. Everything is there in the application form. No, not like that. When you introduce yourself, the interviewers would like to see how you respond. They would like to assess your attitude, your way of presentation, whether you are fit to join this job. So self-introduction is very, very important. For one moment, I just go this way to tell the youngsters, most of you are here, most of you will be attending interview also. How Swamiji introduced himself. Swamiji introduced himself in just 3 sentences in Chicago. And in 3 sentences, Swamiji was able to impress upon all the 7,000 delegates all over the world to feel, to understand who this person was. What is he? Who is he? Where is he coming from? What is his background? What is his knowledge? And what is the philosophy behind him? Everything he was able to impress upon by just telling 3 sentences. I would like to repeat it. Even when he says, I am very happy, he does not say, I am very happy to stand in front of you to thank you. My heart is filled with joy unspeakable. My heart is full of joy. Joy is the highest status. And Swamiji says, my heart is filled with joy unspeakable. Beautiful English. To stand in front of you to thank you. 3 sentences. I thank you in the name of the most ancient order of monks. I thank you in the name of the mother of all religions. I thank you in the name of the millions and millions of Hindu people of my nation. When he uttered these 3 sentences, everybody was able to understand what is India, what is this Bharat Desha, what is this country. Because those days, in the West, people were under the impression, India is a land of Maharajas, elephants, tigers, crocodiles, and all the women folk, the moment they give birth to children, they just throw them because they are very, very poor to crocodiles. This was the impression many of the Westerners those days had. And when he mentioned these 3 sentences, to what type of country I come from, do you know? My country is full of the great monks, great sannyasis. I thank you in the name of the most ancient order of monks. He was insinuating very, very carefully. He was telling people, see, my country is full of great sannyasis. Please, if at all you have any wrong ideas about India, Mother Bharat, please remove them. Number 1. Number 2, I thank you in the name of the mother of all religions. Please don't underestimate our culture. Please don't underestimate our religion. This is the mother of all religions. Oh, this is the religion you belong to. They were wonderstruck. They did not know what Hinduism was those days. And then he said, I thank you in the name of the millions and the millions of Hindu people of my nation. I represent India full of people who are soaked in religion. This was how Swami Vivekananda introduced himself within maybe 50 seconds. This is how a person must introduce. I would like to interpret it. I would like to tell my youngsters here, this is how you must introduce yourself in any interview. 3 sentences. I am so and so. I studied at the CGPA University where so many activities shaped my life, my personality, so many values I learnt. Like the 3 or 4 sentences if you say, they will immediately understand where from you are coming. This is how Swamiji introduced himself. Swamiji spent 3.5 years in America in his first visit. And in 1897, January 15th, he came to Colombo. And there were so many Indians, and it was also almost a part of India only those days. Many Indians were living there. And Swamiji, when he was returning, several ideas were there in his mind. Full of materialistic views, life he saw in the West, and when he returned, what sort of reception this would, because he was so insignificant. Nobody knew Swami Vivekananda. Only September 11th, 1893, Chicago brought him to limelight. And he was just returning. What sort of reception I would get in Colombo, full of Indians there? This was the very big question bothering Swami Vivekananda. Whether they will receive me well, whether they will listen to me well, was the big question in the mind of Swami Vivekananda. But when he reached the shores of Colombo, he was able to see thousands and thousands and thousands of people assembled there. And everybody was saying, Jai Sri Swami Vivekananda Jai. They were telling, shouting. He was able to hear the deafening cheers of the multitudes, many thousands of people. He was extremely happy. And when an opportunity was given to him to address in reply to the beautiful reception given to him by Mr. Kumarasamy, the MP of Colombo those days, there, Swamiji said, he addressed them, my dear people, I am not a politician. I am not a soldier. And I am not a wealthy man. I am not a rich man. I am an ordinary begging sannyasi. What adjective he is using? I am an ordinary begging sannyasi. I am not a politician. For politicians when they come, especially in my state, Tamil Nadu, when a politician comes, immediately so many arches are established. Come, welcome to so and so, and he or she is compared to great gods and goddesses, and so many posters, so many things are pasted on the wall. People shout welcoming their leaders. So that is the grand reception politicians get. Swamiji says, I am not a politician. And you are giving me this rousing reception. Number one. Number two, I am not a soldier returning from a war, a battlefield, victorious. Not like that. Not with the AK-47 or with a sword. I am coming. And I am not a rich man. I have not gone to US. I have not gone to the Western countries for any business trip. I am an ordinary man. Swami does not say I am an ordinary man. I am a begging sannyasi, Swamiji says. And you are giving me this sort of reception. And that is the character of Mother Bharat. Swamiji highlights a very important message here. And that is the message of India, Mother Bharat. Spirituality is the backbone of Mother Bharat. And you are exhibiting, displaying this quality in abundantly, very greatly, this quality. Spirituality is the backbone of Mother Bharat. Spirituality is the message of Mother Bharat, and every one of you have it. Whether you are rich or poor, wealthy or people wallowing in poverty, whether they are poor or rich, this spirituality is the main thread going right from Kasi up to Kanyakumari. Spirituality. The spirit is all pervading the spirit of spirituality. And because of this spirituality, you are giving a rousing reception, very grand reception to a sannyasi like me. I am very happy that you think that I have achieved something, Swami Vivekananda says. Swami Vivekananda is known for his optimism. Optimism. Wherever he went, Swamiji was pouring out optimism. Optimism means the very good feeling that only good things will take place in our life. Opposite is pessimism. We should not be pessimistic. We should be always optimistic in our life. Okay, this is Maitri Milan, a very old fellow from Vivekananda College, Madurai, Tamil Nadu, is coming and sitting in front. When people enter, okay, something we will get from this man, optimism. What this man is boring all the half an hour is pessimism. Swami Vivekananda was all the time he was pouring out optimism. Because I am a literature man, I was attracted by 4 or 5 sentences Swami Vivekananda made when he came to Tamil Nadu on January 29th. Even before that he came, but on January 29th, Swami Vivekananda was addressing a very big gathering at a place called Ramanathapuram. Right in front of him, he was able to see people, once again what he saw at Marina Beach, people in rags, dirty clothing, hair without oil, sunken stomach very clearly telling that they are all very hungry, and there was no hope in their eyes. People were not hopeful because we were ruled by other people and we were all slaves. Is there any hope? They were looking at Swami Vivekananda. People used to ask, what was the contribution of Swami Vivekananda in the national movement, in the liberation movement? Was he a freedom fighter in India? Was a very big question. He was the greatest freedom fighter of India. He was able to inspire many great freedom fighters like Mahatma Gandhiji, Tilak, later on Subhash Chandra Bose, Aurobindo. Many people were inspired. Outwardly he did not show it out, but in 4 or 5 sentences, beautifully Swami Vivekananda says, don't worry my people, my youngsters. He says that, I am just quoting from Swami Vivekananda, the long dark night seems to be passing away. Please don't think that your life will be dark. Please don't think that your life is doomed. Dark life is over. Be an optimist. The long dark night seems to be passing away. He was pouring forth optimism. Don't worry. Have faith in yourself. Have faith in God. Spirituality is there in your backbone and that is the spirit. So be an optimist and have faith. The days are over. The days are becoming brighter and brighter every day. The long dark night, the 300 years of slavery is coming to a close. After 40 years you will be getting freedom. He was just prophesying, predicting. The dark long night seems to come to a close. Number 1. Number 2, you are all in great trouble. The sorest trouble, the biggest trouble you have, the sorest trouble seems to come to an end. 3rd sentence he says, the seeming corpse, dead body. All Indians, you look like a corpse because of your poverty, because you have not taken food for days together. The seeming corpse appears to be awakening. Don't think that you are all dead bodies and you are awakening. And finally he said, and a voice is coming. A voice is coming. A voice is coming from where? A voice is coming from our ancestors who were living 5,000, 10,000 years ago in this mother country. 5,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago, those great rishis, saints, when the rest of the world was in ignorance, when the rest of the world was in darkness, our ancestors, the great rishis, were chanting several divine mantras, and they were thinking about our soul, they were thinking about this Jivatma, They were thinking about Paramatma not 1 year back, 2 years back, not 100 years back, but 5,000, 10,000 years back. Our ancestors were so well educated, the rishis, very great researchers. Swami Vivekananda calls them perfect beings. Perfect beings. And the voice is coming, my dear Indians. Don't be a pessimist. Be an optimist. That voice is coming. And he says, and that voice is reverberating, and that voice gets reflected from where? From the mountains of the Himalayas, the mountains of knowledge, the mountains of love, the mountains of affection, and they get a touch of all these great things, and they are coming nearer to us, to you. And you take the succor, you take the help, and you take the vitamins, you take the strength. Strength is life, weakness is death. You take that strength from that voice. The voice is coming to us. The voice is coming from the ancient rishis who were living here 5,000, 10,000 years ago. That is the tonic. And that voice will give you lot of strength. Swamiji emphasized, and it gave lot of strength. Lot of strength, and that was an indication Swamiji had. In 1897, he proclaimed this great tidings, this great message to the people of our country, and it spread throughout the nation, and it inspired many people to become national fighters, fighters against the slavery, fighters against the Western people who were ruling us for centuries together. And such optimism every one of us should have. To recapitulate, to recollect, it's 8 o'clock, I'm supposed to finish. Number one, what is the backbone of our nation? Spirituality is the backbone of our nation. And what is there in the sayings of, writings of Swami Vivekananda? Lot of optimism. And a lot of optimism, every one of us here, people who have come here for treatment, let us be optimistic that we will get cured. And the people who are attending this certificate course, well, we are going to learn something great. Be an optimist and you will be learning a lot. And other elders who have decided to stay here, definitely be an optimist and you will get a lot from this beautiful campus enshrined with the spirit of Swami Vivekananda, Guru Maharaj Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. May Swami Vivekananda, Guru Maharaj Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Mother Sharada Devi shower all their choicest blessings on all of us. Thank you so much.